And what's up, everybody? It's Joey Bags, and I am with you today in video format. I know. I've done live streams for the past few days, and really the only reason I did live streams was because it was my lazy way of doing a video because of the VOD at the end, and not having to sit here, record, and then edit, and then go through that whole thing. Today, I'm just not really in the mood to live stream, so I thought I'd bring you a video, and a video that's actually been overdue for some time. So what we have here is the Fanatec GT3 Pro. So that's what I'll have here. I'll pop in some pictures of it, and I'm got it hooked up currently to my Xbox, and I'm using the McLaren GT3 wheel from Fanatec that has the Xbox chip in it. So this wheel has the Xbox chip that allows it to be used with an Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox Series S or X, and some other. I don't know. Is there another version? I don't think so. And as you can see here, I'm using the little funky switch down at the bottom to cycle through my games here. And quite honestly, it works just like the CSLDD. Yes, this is the GTDD Pro version, so this is the one that has the PlayStation chip in it. If I wanted to use it on PlayStation, I'd grab my Gran Turismo. Well, actually, I could even use it with this wheel, but since the chip is built into the base, I wouldn't really have to change out the wheel. I mean, I can, but I don't have to. Now, in the case of the Xbox, I do have to change out the wheel because, like I said before, the security chip is in the wheel. So let's just get right into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to test. Here we go. Just changing my TV here so that way I can get into my console desktop, and that way I'm not getting lag. So we're going to go into some Assetto Corsa Competizione. What you're going to want to do, just like anything else, is you'll want to go in and we're going to go to options. We're going to go to controls, and you're going to want to make sure that your controls are set to wheel. All right, that's the first thing. Then after that, what in my testing in preparation for the video, I found that my steering scale was what controlled the degrees of motion. Normally in Assetto Corsa Competizione on PC, that is the steering radius in degrees. So normally it would be, I think it's 900 degrees. I think that's what we usually set it in this, in ACC and AC and a few other ones. But on Xbox, on ACC on Xbox, steering scale is what's going to set how far over you're going to be turning your control, or should I say your wheel. I originally had it set to 100, and I felt like I was turning way past 90 degrees for something, for some turns. I'm like, this feels off. I went in, I changed this to 150. 150 felt good. I decided to take it up just a little bit more just because I like it a little tighter, so I took it up to 160. Steering linearity, you don't really have to change. Brake gamma, leave at 1, especially if you're using a load cell pedal like I am. I'm using the CSL load cell brake pedal. Brake dead zone, I leave my dead zones at 1 just because I really don't change them. Throttle dead zone the same. I mean, if you're one of those people that rests your foot on the pedals, and if you put enough weight on it that you can see that it's activating, oh, excuse me, then you can go ahead and set a dead zone, so that way if you're just resting your foot, you're not actually activating the pedal, especially for the brake. But it's one of those where I don't, so I don't really set it. Now, where I found a little strange were the control bindings. So shift up and down is set to the bumpers, which would be the shifter on the back of the McLaren GT3 wheel. When I scroll down to pit limiter, I did want to set this, so you can use A. I want to set it as the big P button. But the big P button, I think on this controller, the way it is mapped to start. I think that would be, let me grab my Xbox controller. Yeah, so I think it's set to like this menu button here. So I didn't change it, and quite honestly, most of this stuff I tend. Oh, okay, that's very strange. All right, so these toggles on the McLaren GT3 wheel are set to the brake pedal. That's very funny. All right. So the LSB and RSB are the right and left side bumpers. Really, then at that point, all you have is X, Y, B, and A to really map, and maybe the funky switch at the bottom. Pit limiter, I guess I can go ahead and I've set it to the A button. I don't really do wipers. I usually leave those just automatic. So next dash page, I guess I can set that to the D-pad right, previous D-pad left, cycle secondary display. Let's see if I can do, no, I can't do the rotary on it, so no, I don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, clear. Let's see if that clear binding is, no, I don't want to clear all the bindings. I just want to clear that one. And it cleared all of my bindings. Okay, so there we go. So we're at the wheel. Okay, shift down. I don't need any of those. Pit limiter, I'm gonna set to B. That'll be my closest one. Increase traction control. Let's see if I can set this to no. And let's see, will it set to one of the rotaries? Nope, it won't set to the rotary encoder, so there's that. Actually, let's see, clutch and handbrake, brake and throttle, map. Nope, so that's just for that there. All right, so N backs me out. All right, this is where I'm gonna give you on console, binding your buttons is gonna kind of suck. Only because there's only but so many buttons here on a regular D-pad. It's going, or should I say on a regular controller, so, and there's a lot of redundant buttons apparently on here that are wired in together. So like the LSB, RSB, those are, you know, the same as my shifter. Yeah, that's set as the clutch, that's set as that. Yeah, so you'll just have to go in and sort things out as best you can. Let's see if I can go ahead and nope, so that doesn't work for the rotary encoder. You'll pretty much have to just go in and sort things out, how it's going to work for you. Traction control cut. This is all stuff that would work so much better if they gave you more buttons, at least console wise, to map. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set some of the basics. Pit limiter is going to be here. Dash pages, I don't need to worry about any of that. Increase traction control, that's going to be my up. Decrease traction control, that's going to be my down. Increase traction control cut, that's going to be my left. Decrease, that's going to be my right. ABS, I'm I'm gonna just leave ABS alone, only because I don't want to futz with certain things that I already have here, mainly like my view button. So we're gonna leave that, and we're just gonna go into sim. I'm in the Ferrari, I'll be at Spa, and this is just gonna be some hot laps, no biggie. I'm sure that someone will come into the comments and let me know that I did something wrong when it comes to the either the setup of the GT3 of the McLaren wheel in the Fanatec software, and I can apparently, you know, or I may be able to map more buttons, or just is what it is. I can tell you off jump right now, this force feedback feels really good. Feels really good. I wish the game looked better on the console. Oof. Okay, it was a little hot over there. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, man, those curbings feel really good. Oof. I'm just a little loose and all over the place right now. Force feedback is really good. The power, what I'm feeling from the road. Yeah. Rumble strips feel good. Let's go one more time. I have to scratch my neck. Of course I missed the option. Alright, let's see if we can make this a clean lap. Let's take down the track for a little bit. Yeah, the feeling on the curb is nice. So there you go. That's a lap around Spa. Not my fastest, but really just kind of going ahead to get a feel of it. Other than the whole mapping issue of your buttons, that's really going to be probably the biggest headache with this wheelbase that I'm seeing. Quite honestly, if that's the worst of it, then that's great. We still have the issues with Fanatec, so you know, take it for what you want. They're still having problems, so I would really do the research well and maybe say a little prayer when you're ordering and hope that you're part of the very few that go ahead and manage to get their setup, you know, on time. Let's hop into some Forza now. And let's see. So I'll quickly go to the setup page in settings. So you'll come into here. As you see, I have a few things, well, most of it turned off. This is all stuff that you can go ahead and sort out for yourself. Wheel, this is where you'll go ahead and you'll set your wheel. This is where you'll set your bindings. For the most part, everything works well. I think the biggest issue would be figuring out what the Fanatec software, or you know, how the McLaren GT3 wheel, what buttons are set to what functions on an Xbox controller. For the most part, everything is rather self-explanatory, and I'm sure you're able to go in and, you know, change and adjust a few things. Like the view button changes that. I'm sure you can go ahead and change it if you wanted to. Look back, so it's not assigned. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit A to assign it, and I'm just gonna hit down on the D-pad, and there we go. So now that's my look down. My look left and right, I'm gonna, there we go, like left, look right. So there we go, I've got that saved. Look straight back, I guess, you know, there's that. Quick action, D-pad, quick action 2. I don't know what the quick actions are. I actually never have used them in Forza, so that is what it is. Honestly, there's really not much that you can go ahead and change. If anything, I would love to take out this rewind. I don't use rewind for anything. What can I... is there anything specific? Switch camera, no. I guess maybe if you wanted to, like, I could set quick action 2 to X. You know, but honestly, this is all personal preference, and you know, go about as you will. The advanced wheel section, this is where you set dead zones and stuff like that. You know, change the settings, vibration scale. Honestly, you can look up a ton of videos and get a really good, decent setup, a baseline to get force feedback and everything, you know, feeling somewhat good. I am using the setup from Hacky Hoshi. This would have been, I've got links to all this in the videos where I use the PXN for Forza. So, you know, yes, I'm going to save the changes I made. We'll go to race real quick. Free play, we're gonna do my fave. So let's hop into the, we'll hop into the Toyota TCR. Yep, everything is set, good to go. Weather, I do not want random. No, we're gonna do clear. I don't feel like going random. 12, yep, so we're good to go. Here we are, we're good to go. We got everything set up, and now we'll go into race. Skip all this. Let's just start the race. We don't need all that. It's a quick 5-lap race, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. What I don't like is I can't see my either speed or gear here in the little screen of the GT3 wheel. Pretty much every place else I'm able to see it, or should I say in other games, other sims. In Forza, for some reason, I'm not able to. So that it is what it is. That could be a big deal to you. I mean, as you see on the screen, it's right there. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's so funny how in different sims, those bumps down at the bottom of the chicane are so rough. Like in iRacing, I was just in iRacing a little bit ago, and if you hit that, depending on the car you're in, it's gonna launch it, because they're very pronounced. Assetto Corsa, I don't remember if they're that pronounced. Here in Forza, as you just saw, they were rather flat, so not much of a problem. Oh, watched out the front, watched out the front. Whew. The force feedback in this particular title with this wheelbase feels really good. Got to be gentle with this brake pedal. The last thing I want to do is overcook those front wheels. All right, 2 to go. Let's make sure I don't absolutely mess this up in the last lap. Yep, feeling the tires stick is nice. And when you hear them squealing away and you feel them wash out, oh, such a horrible feeling. Make sure it sticks. Don't want to hear that squealing sound. Don't want to make it a blatant. And there we go. Finished first place. My best lap was a minute flat. Not bad, not bad. Once again, in Forza, the force feedback was great. I felt the road detail, I felt the tires. As you're going around the corner and you can feel the grip in the wheel. Once you've gone a little bit too far, too much, and the wheels start to wash out, not only do you get the audible cue, you hear that squeal, but you also feel the tires. You feel that wheel just go past where you wanted to, past the sticking point, and you feel it washing out. The good part is, because you have that feel, you can correct, come back a little, back off the throttle a little bit if you have to, whatever you have to do to kind of correct it, to fix the, or catch it and then correct it. And you're getting a good feel from this wheelbase. Once again, it's a shame that it's Fanatec, and it's a shame of all the issues that Fanatec has, and it's a shame on how Fanatec treats their customers. But it kind of is what it is right now. I'm not gonna go ahead and recommend the wheelbase. I will tell you that in the testing that I've done, the wheelbase feels good. In using it, the wheelbase feels good. Overall, I give it a positive, hardware wise. Now, when we're talking about Fanatec as a company, I can't recommend it at all. You really have to sit there and think to yourself, do you want to put yourself through that headache? If you don't mind putting yourself through that headache, then I guess it's always an option if you need a console compatible racing wheel. If you don't, then there's so many other companies you can look at. You can look at Camus, you can look at PXN, you can look at Moza, you can look at Ace. I mean, it really comes down to what your price range is. If your price range is budget minded, the Camus C5 at $250 for just the wheel is a good starting point. Then find yourself, a decent set of pedals for, a low price, and you're in with a direct drive that has good power, good road feel, good definition, good fidelity, at a probably cheaper price than you would getting a Fanatec setup or maybe one of the other ones. If you do need console compatibility, you're kind of stuck, and at that point you're really going at the mercy of Fanatec, who they have the combos. Or I'm not even going to recommend the Turtle Beach, because the Turtle Beach is garbage. PXN has been good to me. I love my wheelbase. It works with all my consoles, and it's a viable option that is decently priced. It's a little bit more than CSL DD ready to run or ready to race bundle from Fanatec with Xbox compatibility. It's way less than the GTDD Pro PlayStation compatible setup, way less than that. You're looking at maybe around 550, maybe 530. I think you'd have to source it from Alibaba. You've got that option. If you want to go Fanatec and PlayStation and Xbox compatible, you're going to spend almost $1,000. If you just want PC and Xbox compatibility, you can be into it before tax and shipping. I want to say just under $500. If you want to go Fanatec. If you want to go PXN, that is PlayStation and Xbox compatible, both out the box, and you're looking at about $550 or so. The pedals are good. I mean, it's not the load cell, but at the same time, you wouldn't get the load cell pedal with the Fanatec setup either. You'd have to buy that separately, so that's not really a point. The PXN pedals are Hall effect sensors that are actually really good pedals. They come with a brake performance kit to give you a more solid brake feel, to kind of simulate the resistance that you would have with a load cell. It's not a load cell, and it doesn't give you the type of performance that a load cell does, but what it does is give you a more solid pedal feel, which then allows you to build muscle memory. It's still a Hall effect sensor, and it still reads the percentage of the pedal you're pressing down, but having that resistance using that dampener then allows your body to form muscle memory on, okay, I have to press it down this hard so that way it breaks at this percentage that I want, and that allows you to build consistency. If you don't have something that's adding resistance and you're just hitting a pedal with maybe a slightly stiff brake spring, trying to always hit that, whatever percentage may be a bit more difficult. But when you add in that dampener that adds in that extra resistance and you're having to push that pedal harder, that does give you a sensation of, oh, let me kind of repeat this amount of force that I'm pushing down at this pedal. That will build that muscle memory that builds consistency. Like I said, it is not a load cell, but the resistance does help build muscle memory. That muscle memory builds consistency, and that's what you would be doing with a load cell. So at least PXN gives you that out the box. Moza, on the other hand, they don't. You have to pay an extra 40 to 50 bucks for their brake performance kit for their SRP light pedals. And those are the same SRP light pedals that are coming on the R3 from Moza that works on Xbox and PC. But that has, I think, 3.9 newton meters of peak torque. So that may not be a viable option for some people. Honestly, it's rather weak, and the price tag is, I think, about $399 at that point. I don't know. You've always have an option of using a device like this, the Brook Resolution 2. This one is PlayStation 5, Switch, Xbox compatible, and older PlayStations, older Xboxes. That's always an option if you want to pick up something like the Camus or something like the Moza, or one of the other better wheelbases. The only issue is that it's an intermediary box. So when you're using an intermediary box between your direct drive and your console, you're gonna have some wonkiness, and it's usually in the area of force feedback. That's never quite the same. I can tell you with this, I've tested the Moza and both the Camus, and while they worked well, the force feedback on the Moza was a little weak. And the settings for the wheel, and it had an oscillation, or it really wasn't an oscillation. It had this high point. It was just something that you would have to sit there and fiddle with settings. And if you like to fiddle, maybe that's a good thing. If you don't, and you just want to plug and play, it may not be the solution that you're looking for. You may end up having to kick up the money to go with a Fanatec setup that's pretty much plug and play, or going with like a PXN setup, V12 DDL, which is also plug and play. You're just looking at a better price tag with the PXN, but you're looking at a company that is in Moza's shoes from maybe 2 to 3 years ago, where they're rather unknown in the sim space. So them being obscure does lead people to be rather weary of, whether or not they should spend their money with them. So do your research, look into what you may want. Ultimately make sure you know what your budget is, know what it is that you exactly want, and then find what it is that's in your budget. If you go back into the channel, I have tons of videos of pretty much every wheelbase at some point in time on PC, on Xbox, and PS5. So you can go ahead, you can go through my library, and you can use that as research material. I will have a new video coming up that will highlight all of them in a condensed down, not too short of a video, but it will show strength and weaknesses of each of the wheelbases. I'm not going to even touch the pedals, because for the most fact that they all come with Hall effect sensor pedals, and they're all pretty much the same. So I think I'm just going to use my load cell across all of them, and really it's just going to be giving you the pros and cons of each one, and maybe a little demo of it on PC, Xbox, Xbox, PlayStation, depending on where it is. I may not use that intermediary box just because I don't want to add extra that you may not need. You can always go back and look at other videos and you do your research on that. But for right now, I kind of wanted to keep this a shorter video. So 35 minutes, I know, is not a short video, but for me, it's kind of, on par. So with that, just want to give you all an update. You guys are all amazing. I do this for you guys, to bring you information, to bring you news, to bring you whatever's out there in the sim world. you know, in a easy to digest version than, you know, trying to piece it together with all the PR talk that you'll get in articles and maybe other videos. So thank you to the 400 plus subs we're at now. I do this for you guys. I greatly appreciate all of you. Um, just thank you all. I mean, I just can't even begin to, you know, the thanks that I have for you guys. Just keep it up. Keep sharing the videos. Keep liking. Keep subbing. Um, I want to take the channel to the moon. I want to take the channel to the moon. I want to get you guys all of the info that I can. I want to review everything I can. If I can buy it, I'll buy it. If I can get sponsorships, I'll get. To get that, I need you guys. Oh, I need you guys to like and sub. We need to have an army. If the companies see I have an army, I'll get the stuff and then I'll bring you guys all of the unbiased reviews and information that you need. So that way you can go ahead and make educated purchases, or at least be steered in the correct direction of what you should look for. You know, what are the good, what's the bad, what's the ugly, what's the stay away from, what's the maybe you should consider, because there's just so much out there. It's so much out there, and if you start looking, it can drive you crazy. But it's because of you guys that I'm at where we're at now, and it's you guys that can help me blow past that goal and take it, you know, to the moon like I want to. So thank you very much. And yeah, guys, let's get this set up so I can end this video so you can all be all happy. And with that, I will catch ya on the next video. Peace.